Right, believe it or not, this is going to be the furniture for the inside of the camper van. Solid birch from my mate's sawmill. Thanks very much, Dom, appreciate it. However, it's far too big and chunky, so I need to get this cut down. Now I'm going to rip it up with the table saw. Got loads of stuff. Then we're going to run it through my new toy. Got myself a planer thicknesser. Always fancied one of these, and haven't used one before, so it could be interesting. So we've got a lot of work to do. Turn those boards into nice, usable, presentable bits of wood to use for the cupboard doors and the bottom of the cupboards, and whether or not I'm going to use the boards for the framing of the cupboards, I'm undecided at the moment. I might just cheat and just go down to Wicks and get some pine framing, but this is, so we need a full length cupboard along there, which I'll probably do in two sections, join it in the middle, and then a cupboard up there, and then that's going to transform it completely, and then we can start thinking about doing the kitchen, which will also be used in birch. So fun. So I've done a very basic experiment and ripped up a bit of birch, roughly the same size as the stuff I've been using on the ceiling, which is redwood, which is quite common wood used for the framing. So I reckon this, if I went and got some battens from Wicks, I reckon it'll weigh roughly about the same density as this stuff. Anyway, this is slightly thinner. That one is 130 grams, that's 98 grams. So I estimate this is 33%, a third heavier than that. So if I do rip up a load of battens and put it in, then I'm causing more weight unnecessarily. So I think I'm going to just, it would be cool to do that, but it's time consuming, extra weight, and you ain't going to see them anyway because it's going to be inside the cupboard, so it's pointless. So let's go to Wicks later and get some framing. So I'm just building a high fence for the table saw, which is capable of supporting boards that thick. So obviously that's no good. It's only a basic cheap table saw, so let's hope it's up for it. Well, I've given up on that for the time being. Didn't go that well, to be quite honest. Reciprocating saw is not great, quite slow, so popped over to Wicks to get a new saw, hand saw, and so that's having some effect. But I think what I'm going to do, I think maybe I was a bit too greedy, done this too wide. Just going to do next boards that size, and then there will be half cut table saw, and then the other side half cut, and then it should all split up without me having to saw down the middle, and then we'll tidy it up with a planer. That's the plan. But I'll pot that for the time being because I don't need that for now. And got a load of timber from Wicks and I made a start on the cupboard frames, so just doing some pocket holes now. that's absolutely butchered one very nice piece of wood. However, I still think it's salvageable. It's going to end up quite thin though, but in hindsight, for the bottom of the cupboard I only really need 7 or 8 mil. It's pretty strong stuff and it's going to be supported, so fun. Not. Definitely a different approach next time. Avoid doing sawing. Anyway, let's run this through the planer, see what happens. Well, was it all worth it, what effort? Ended up with 2 7mm boards with lots of grain tear out as well. So I think I'm going to say no, it wasn't. However, I have learnt a lot from that, so maybe it was. Take note of the grain direction as well, which is difficult. Yeah, I think you just need experience to know which way. But I think as I'm cutting it, I need to check each time to see whether or not there's tear out and then just turn it around the other way. That's my plan next time. Right, got one covered up. Well, it's not finished of course, just got it in position so I can do a bit of fine tuning. That looks quite nice. So just figuring out the end bits. I think once I've done one, then I'll be able to do the next ones a lot quicker. But it gives you an idea what it's going to look like. Right, that's in position. I've just put a line across there. And here we go. Right, so this corner up here is quite fiddly. This, I want to get maximum amount as possible to cover the carpet, maximum amount of storage as well, but this bends in, so I've scribed to that with a bit of packaging. Whack that up in there, scribe to that, to the end. But we're still going to have to get a little bit creative, a bit like we did in that corner there. Anyway, let's see what happens. Right, well, I've had another change of heart. I'm going to have to persevere with these boards now, as I've made one cupboard using the birch on the bottom, so I need to continue. So I'm going to give it another go. Bought a longer blade, heavy duty, and it's 300mm, so let's see what happens. That was much quicker, but still a mission. Anyway, that's come out all right. Run those through the planer. That's going to be for another day. Right, got 2 cupboards up at last. There's a mission. Got a lot of distractions in the way. Going back to work for one thing, but anyway, the underneath is gluing, got a light going for it, really light for the bed, so there's a switch for it. Got some wax. Well, that one's waxed and that one isn't. You can see the difference it makes. May be hard to see in this light, but that's the actual birch on the end, which when waxed just looks absolutely amazing. I'm very pleased with that. Then inside we got plywood for the backs, birch base, whitewood for the frame, so it's a little bit of a mixture, but it's still work in progress. So I think it will be alright, and it will be finished off nicely once we got those doors on. Gonna have to get make some quite chunky doors though, because I've already had a little bit of warping, so I need to get that sealed, get it waxed, stop it bending anymore. But yeah, we've still got another couple to do over there. Painfully slow progress, which is partly to do with me, I think, faffing around a little bit, but it is fiddly, but I'm quite pleased with it. Right, final cupboard is done. I didn't feel myself building it, too much hassle. Anyway, I nailed that one pretty quick. Took a couple of days. That's probably not quick to a lot of people, but I was quite pleased with that, and it's come out better than all the others as well. Obviously learned from mistakes from the others. It does take time sorting the birch out, so that's not stained yet, but the rest of it is. Oh, it's a bit dark, crap weather. Wouldn't believe it's spring, would you? I've done quite a few snaggy jobs, so stuck in some more carpet up the top there, filled the holes and painted that. A nice bit of trim underneath there. A bit of carpet there, so it's all coming together quite nicely. Got a final bit of wood to put up there, one last thin slat to go in there, and then we've got to do some cupboard doors, which is going to be creating more mess with the planer. I wouldn't believe the amount of sawdust that I'm creating, making such a mess. Cupboard doors, and then I'm going to finish off the cladding, clad these doors because it looks pretty crap at the moment, and clad that. And then I think I need to spend loads of money on buying a load of the electrical stuff, water heater, and so I can build the kitchen around that, and that'll be next. Get that all in and then start building a kitchen. So anyway, to be continued.